A hard thing is for you to walk on a strange, unknown place, whether a neighborhood, a city, a country. You go to an unknown place that you know nobody and no one, and you are there alone, with nobody. The sensation is not only of the unknown, but is a sensation of fear, insecurity. What can happen to me here? If I do something wrong here, what will happen to me? So, always when we go to an unknown place, we aim to take someone who knows the place, who will introduce us to the right place and to avoid the wrong places. You understand this feeling quite well because everybody, I believe, have been through a similar situation. That's why there are many children. They have that trauma from the first day in school, because the first day in school is the first day that the child will come out from that non-familiar place, that everything is safe, to an unknown place, to children that they don't know, that typical scene on the crying child and not wanting to let go of the mother's arms on the first day in school shows this terror that is in the human heart when we leave the family member behind and we enter in an unknown place. Everybody knows this feeling. Now imagine to live life in this dark place, evil, wicked, unfair world filled with good things, but also with more bad things. Imagine to live like this in this world, and to live like this without God. Without God. It is what is written in the book of Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 12, that speaks about a people, that talks about the people who live without God in the world. People who live without God in the world, which means spiritually orphans, spiritually lonely, abandoned. They can be surrounded by friends, they can be at parties every night, to have a lot of people on their contact list, social media, but spiritually solitary. It is what is written here, without God in the world, without God in the world. My God, when I read this passage, I was thinking, my Father, how terrible is the life of the person who lives without you, Lord, in this world. How terrible is the life of the one who lives without you. They have inside of them first of all, ignorance within. They have no knowledge about their soul, as I didn't have awareness about my soul. When I walked without God in this world, I was not aware of my soul. People are not aware of the most precious and eternal thing that they have inside, which is their soul. They're not aware of this. So they live ignorant towards their soul. In other words, ignorant about the real condition of their soul, that without God in this world, they will spend eternity without God too. They will spend eternity without Him, with no hope, because the Holy Text says that these people who live without God in the world, they live with no hope. Have you heard someone saying like this? When they are asked, what do you think will happen after the person dies? And then someone answered, saying, for me to die, it's over, that's it. But it's written, without hope, having no hope. People who live with no hope, they have no hope of the afterlife, of eternity, of nothing better. It is what it is, that's all. If I live, I lived. If I die, I died. I don't believe in death, heaven, nor hell. I don't believe. Without hope. People empty from hope. Therefore, when the person has no hope, they have no purpose. Their life have no sense. They think, as many in this world, that they were a fruit of an accident. That all that he is, all that they are, even though it's quite clear, the fingerprints of God are quite clear in this world, especially in the human being, because the human being is incredibly superior to everything else that there is in this universe. The human being is the creature that is infinitely superior to all others, to all other creatures and creations of God. But the person cannot see the fingerprints of God in their lives, and they think that they are a fruit of an accident, of an explosion. They are a fruit of atoms, molecules, that out of the blue decided to hold hands together and to create what it is by themselves. So they have no hope, they have no purpose, they have no sense for their lives. They think that everything is an accident, beginning with themselves, always empty, nothing has any meaning. So they live like this, sad, hopeless, in a meaningless life, no purpose, uncertain of tomorrow. In other words, without God. So how exposed is this person to evil? How exposed and unprotected from everything in the spiritual realm, because they live for the matter. To live, to eat, to sleep, to have money, to buy things, they only live for the matter. So their spirit is completely ignored. Thus, they are unprotected. They have no protection regarding to their spiritual life, their soul. So they are easy targets of envy, depression, anxiety, of the evil that affects the soul. Why are they an easy target for this evil that attacks the soul? Because they don't take care of it. They ignore it. Will you take care of something that you ignore? Is there anyone who cares or takes care of something that is ignored, something that doesn't exist? No. So the person who ignores their soul is like a wild animal. Do you know? I will not even say wild animal, because they have the survival instinct. They know how to survive even in the jungle. But I will say a pet that needs their owner, but they were cast on the streets, thrown out on the streets, and they don't know how to take care of themselves. So they will starve, they'll be victims of others, and soon they are dead by the road. This is the soul of many that is uncared for, that is unprepared to deal with the spiritual wars, battles that affect this world. So there's many who live without God in this world, is what is written in Ephesians 2:12. Having no hope and without God in the world. Many live like this. And because many live like this, then what is the solution? Does God ignore them? Has God forgotten them? No, quite the contrary. It's written on verse 4 of the same chapter that God had mercy. He has mercy. He is rich in mercy. And reach these people with the word as is reaching them now. You who are listening to me and saying, it's true. I feel as if I live without God in this world. I feel like a spiritual orphan. I live for no reason, no purpose in this life. This is me. Lord, you are talking to me. That's it. God is reaching you. His mercy is reaching you now as I'm speaking to you. He's telling you, you don't need to live like this, alone, with no hope. You don't need to live like this. You can know me. You can seek for me. And just as a wanderer in the desert and finds an oasis, your soul that is thirsty, hungry, uncared for, it will find the water of life. You can do what he said. Seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart. You need to seek God, Him, and not a religion. It's not a religion that you need to look for. You need to look for God. You seek God by talking to Him. He's there by your side. You don't need intermediators between you and God. You can speak to Him straight to God. You close your eyes from your heart straight to God's heart. You speak to Him. You need to know Him. And God left for us His words in the Holy Scriptures, in the Holy Bible. So you need to acquire a Bible or to get a Bible that in your home, remove the dust from it, and to start reading it, especially the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, John, Luke. Start to read the Gospels that speaks about Jesus, the person who came to this world to save us in flesh and blood, to show who God is. So start to read the Bible, the Word of God, to know Him better. And then you must look for a Christian or Christians, people who are aiming to live the Word of God truly. It's not a perfect church. You will never find the perfect church, because neither you are nor the church, because the church is made out of imperfect people. But a church who has the Word and Jesus as the center of their lives, and they aim to live by it sincerely. That's how you must seek God. Seek to know Him. And if you seek for Him, you will find Him. Is what the Word of God promises. Stop living without God in the world. Because in reality, this is not life. This is death. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.